Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this training video, I am going to teach you how to answer the 25 hardest interview questions. These questions come up all the time during job interviews, so if you are applying for any role with any company, make sure you stay tuned. Now, to help you pass your interview at the first attempt, I will cover 4 things in this video. Number 1. So I'm going to reveal the top 25 most commonly asked interview questions. I will rank these from easiest through to the hardest interview question. Number 2, I will then give you 2 really important tips for giving a top scoring answer to each interview question. Number 3, I will then give you a brilliant, unique example answer to each of the 25 interview questions to make sure you pass your interview at the first attempt. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you where you can instantly download my 25 brilliant answers to tough interview questions. And just very quickly, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Thousands of you, and I mean thousands of you, are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. It makes it far easier for me to help you when you are subscribed. Please hit the like button and please tell me the name of the job you are applying for in the comment section below the video, so I can give you some extra tips to help you pass. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's start working through those 25 hardest interview questions to answer. Now, the first one is question number 25, which I believe is the easiest out of these 25 questions, and that is, what are your strengths? Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you choose strengths that match the job role. Quickly read the job description before your interview and then match your strengths with the skills required for the position. Now, I recommend you also give 3 strengths in your answer that will ensure you stand out from the competition. And the strengths I am about to give you in my unique example answer are guaranteed to impress any hiring manager. And tip number 2, don't just list skills, explain how your strengths are going to deliver results for the company. So here is my brilliant top scoring example answer. Question 25, what are your strengths? Write this down. My strengths are a great match for the job role. First, I am a responsive and fast worker, meaning I complete more work than the average person. Second, I am commercially aware, meaning I understand that I am responsible for delivering results in my work to give you a strong return on my salary. And finally, I am a cost-conscious worker. I use company supplies and resources responsibly to help save money, and I will bring creative ideas to the team to boost sales. So those are brilliant strengths: being responsive and a fast worker, commercially aware, cost-conscious, and also bringing creative ideas to the team. That is a brilliant answer. Let's now move on to the next question. Question 24, which is, tell me about yourself. Now, this question is going to be the first one you will have to answer at your interview. Now, I think it's one of the easiest questions to answer because you know the question is going to come up and you can therefore practice it lots of times before your interview. Here's 2 really good tips to help you give a confident response. Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you keep your answer professional and to approximately 60 seconds in duration. It doesn't need to be any longer than 1 minute. Tip number 2. I recommend you talk about the following 4 things in your answer: the skills you have that match the job description, your educational background and experience, details of accomplishments you have attained in your life so far, and then finish your response by telling the hiring manager the type of person you are and what you will do to help the company thrive. Now you will notice that those 4 things stand for SEAT, S-E-A-T. And you can remember that structure because you will be sitting down on a seat at your interview. So let me give you my brilliant SEAT structure answer to that question. Tell me about yourself. Again, write this down and practice it. Tell me about yourself. Here we go. Thank you for this opportunity. I am a driven, enthusiastic, knowledgeable and supportive team player with the skills to match the job description. I graduated from college with good grades in, and then you insert your subjects. Since my academic studies, I have gained experience working on teams, delivering brilliant customer service, and also collaborating on time-sensitive projects. I am a high achiever. In my previous job, my manager often praised my strong work ethic, how I went above and beyond for customers, and also how I attracted positive online reviews for the company. If you hire me, I will be a great company role model, take ownership of problems when they arise, and also be flexible in my duties to give you a really good return on my salary. So that is approximately 60 seconds in length, and it follows my brilliant SEAT structure for tell me about yourself. Pause the video, write down the answer and practice it. That will help get your interview off to a confident start. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have many more tips, questions and answers to work through with you. But when you are ready, you can click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video, head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, where you can instantly download these slides, my full set of 25 top scoring answers to these difficult interview questions. Here is the next question I strongly recommend you prepare for. Question 23 out of our 25 hardest questions. Why do you want this job? Tip number 1. Now, in your answer, I recommend you align your passion, work interests, and career goals to the job role. And tip number 2, make sure you say you have researched the company and you are attracted to its mission and values. So let's put everything together in my brilliant top scoring example answer. Here we go. Why do you want this job? I want this job for 3 reasons. The first reason is that I am passionate about this job role and industry. The second reason I want this job is because the industry is evolving and there is the opportunity for me to diversify my skills. I enjoy learning new things and this job gives me the chance to grow professionally. And finally, I want this job because it is with your company. I researched you and I am attracted to your ambitious company mission and positive workplace culture. You can see how these answers are going to put you ahead of the competition at every job interview you ever attend. Question 22. What are you most proud of in your career? What are you most proud of in your career? Tip number 1. Now, if you have achieved good things in your work, it means you are a high achiever and the employer will be more inclined to offer you the position. So you need to tell them that you have a track record of achievement. Tip number 2. Now, I recommend you choose an achievement that had a positive impact on your employer. If this is your first ever job, then you can give an achievement from your academic studies or your personal life, such as winning a team sports event. But here is my brilliant top scoring answer to help you. What are you most proud of in your career? I am most proud of a team project I worked on in my last job. We were tasked with launching a new company product. We held a team meeting to brainstorm marketing ideas. I suggested we promote the product on social media, targeting customers by age and demographics. Others in the team suggested we offer our customer database a loyalty discount on the new product. Following the team meeting, we produced 5 great marketing ideas to present to our manager. Now, we successfully launched the product, achieving a 27% increase on the previous launch, which was a testament to our collaboration skills, dedication, and hard work. That is such a clever answer because you are saying your proudest achievement in your career is where you really helped your employer to increase sales. It's a clever answer. Interview question 21. Why do you want to leave your current job? Tip number 1. Now, do not be negative about your current or previous employers. Keep your answer positive. Focus on wanting to leave for growth opportunities, not grievances. And tip number 2, finish your answer by highlighting what excites you about this new opportunity. Here is the perfect answer. Why do you want to leave your current job? Here we go. I want to leave my current job because I have reached my full potential in my work. It's been a great experience working for my employer, but I now feel ready for the next chapter of my career where I can collaborate on new and exciting projects with co-workers who possess different skills. I am particularly excited about the direction your company is headed and how my skills, knowledge and experience can be utilized to help the company thrive. That is such a great answer. It's a unique response. It's not been created by ChatGPT or artificial intelligence. It has been created based on my 30 plus years experience as a recruitment expert and hiring manager. It will score highly in your interview. Question 20. What are your salary expectations? Now, this needs a confident answer. Tip number 1. Make sure you do your research and give a salary range based on the going rate for someone with your knowledge, experience and track record. Now, you can quickly research salary ranges on websites such as glassdoor.com. Tip number 2, make sure you have a desired salary you want, but also a figure that you won't go below. Be confident in your answer and focus on the value you can bring to the company. Make sure you practice your response before your interview to demonstrate confidence in your chosen salary. Here is the perfect, top-scoring example answer. What are your salary expectations? Write this down. I've researched the typical salary range for this role in the industry, which falls between $45,000 and $56,000. Now, given my experience working collaboratively in teams, completing high-pressure projects, and contributing creative, results-driven ideas, I believe a salary of $54,000 is fair and reflects the value I can bring. I'd also welcome the opportunity for regular performance reviews and salary progression based on achievements. For $54,000, I'm fully committed to delivering excellent results and contributing to the long-term success of, and then you insert the company's name to make it more personal. Again, pause the video, practice the answer, or you can simply download all of the answers by clicking that link in the top right-hand corner of the video at any time. Interview question number 19 is, how do you define success? Be very careful how you answer this tough question. Tip number 1. Now, do not say you define success through money or material items. Tailor your response to align with the team's goals and long-term company impact. Tip number 2. Now, in your answer, include how your success at work empowers you to achieve personal or family goals. Let me teach you a clever way to answer this difficult interview question. Here we go. How do you define success? I define success as contributing to a team's objectives, having secure employment, receiving positive performance reviews and feedback from managers, and also continually growing, improving, and developing in my work. If I am successful at work, it empowers me to provide for my family and we can realize our goals. For example, I am saving for my first home and I will only achieve that goal if I do great things in my employment. That is a really smart way to answer that difficult question. How do you define success? Interview question 18. Now, if you don't answer this question correctly, you will not get offered the job. You can see how these questions are starting to increase in difficulty as we work through them. What do you know about our company? Tip number 1. Now, I strongly recommend you research the company's website About Us page, their mission, values, and their social media accounts before your interview. And tip number 2, if you have researched the company before your interview, it tells the hiring manager you are more concerned about team fit, values, and career growth opportunities than salary. So here is my brilliant example template answer you can use once you've researched the company you are applying for. What do you know about our company? Here we go. I researched you before applying for this role. I studied your website, mission, and values and followed you on social media. You were founded in, and then insert the year, and you operate in the X industry. So you insert the industry they operate in. Your best-selling products are, insert their products, and your customers often cite excellent service and speed of delivery in online reviews. You are very active on social media and you post about insightful and helpful topics that assist your customers. I also read your careers page on your website and was impressed with how you invest in your staff. I am genuinely excited about the prospect of working for you and the opportunity to build a long-term career here. Now that is a great template answer you can use, and all you have to do is fill in the red blanks. Pause the video or download the answers. Question number 17. What's your biggest weakness and what are you doing to improve it? Again, be very careful how you answer this tough question. Tip number 1. Now be honest. Do not say you don't have any weaknesses, but pick something that won't hinder your ability to do the job competently. Tip number 2. I recommend you show awareness of your weakness, but also detail the steps you're taking to improve. So here is my brilliant top scoring answer. Don't forget, I hope you are enjoying this video. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the like button. It really does motivate me to create more great content for you. Thank you. What's your biggest weakness and what are you doing to improve it? Here we go. My biggest weakness is that I often struggle to say no to people when they ask me for help or to take on extra duties. For example, in my last job, I doubled my workload when I volunteered to cover the duties of a co-worker who was sick. Now, this resulted in me almost missing an important deadline for one of my company projects. I have this weakness because I am a people pleaser and I don't want to disappoint. However, I have been forcing myself to assess my capacity for additional work before committing to ensure high standards are maintained. So that is a clever answer because you are basically saying you will do lots of work for the company, but you sometimes overcommit. It's a really smart way to answer that tough question. Question 16. How do you stay organized? Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you give a step-by-step explanation as to how you organize your workload. Don't be vague. Give step-by-step instructions as to what you do to be organized in your work. And tip number 2, highlight flexibility and adaptability to changing priorities in your answer. So here is my brilliant scripted response to help you. How do you stay organized? I stay organized by keeping my workspace clean and tidy, creating lists of tasks I am responsible for, and using time management and task tracking tools such as Evernote. At the start of each working day, I create a list of tasks and projects and I color code them in order of priority. Red tasks are urgent and need immediate attention. Orange tasks are second, and green tasks can be left for later in the day when I have more free time. I also ensure I leave space in the working day to respond to my manager's urgent tasks or work requests. And by being organized and blocking out distractions, I can be relied upon to complete all work on time. That is a great answer. I love how you are prioritizing tasks, you are color coding them based on urgency. It shows you to be a really good organizer. Question 15. What's your leadership style? And give an example of it in action. Now, don't just think because you are applying for a non-leadership position that they won't ask this question. It comes up all the time and it catches lots of people out. Tip number 1. So this is a tough question because it is often asked during non-leadership and management interviews. Don't be surprised if this question comes up. I recommend you choose a leadership style that matches the company's culture. And tip number 2, provide a brief story showing how your leadership approach got positive results for the company. This is a brilliant answer. You will love this response. Here we go. What's your leadership style? And give an example of it in action. Here we go. My leadership style is supportive, delegative, and strategic. I prefer to work collaboratively, delegating tasks fairly and equally amongst co-workers based on their strengths and expertise. I am also strategic and consider the long-term impact my decisions and actions have on my employer. For example, I was attending a team meeting discussing an important client-based project when 2 team members suggested cutting corners during the project to save money. They argued the client would not know we had cut corners on the project. I disagreed and explained that this approach was reckless and could damage the reputation of the company and the trust the client had placed in us to deliver the project. After listening to my reasoned argument, they agreed it was not a good idea. So that shows that you are not afraid to be strategic. You are taking a strong leadership style and saying that you disagree with your co-workers for the company's benefit. It's a really good example answer. Question 14. Have you ever disagreed with your manager? What did you do? Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you choose a disagreement with your manager where you stayed professional, calm, and respectful. Tip number 2. Show how you presented your case and then put the company first during the disagreement. Here is another brilliant response. This is a great answer. Again, you will love this response. Have you ever disagreed with your manager? What did you do? In my previous role, a customer complained about a faulty product and they left a negative online review. Although they were just outside the refund window, I felt we had an opportunity to turn the situation around. Now, my manager was initially reluctant to offer a refund, but I explained that engaging with the customer could help us improve the product and demonstrate really good customer service. I suggested we refund the purchase, send a free replacement, and respond publicly to the review with an apology. I also offered to personally contact the customer to understand their experience better. My manager agreed, and I reached out to the customer directly. After my interaction, I received valuable information on how the product could be improved, and the customer went on to amend their online review, citing our positive discussion following their initial experience. That is a really good example answer, and it shows that you are mature, professional, and you want the company to be successful. It's a really good example response. Okay, now these questions are getting really difficult. Question 13, describe yourself in 3 words. Which 3 words should you use in your answer? Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you choose 3 words that are guaranteed to stand out from the other candidates. And I also recommend you avoid words such as team player and hardworking. Tip number 2. Now, once you have given your chosen 3 words, go on to explain how these will add value to the company. But which 3 words should you use? Here they are in my top scoring example answer. Describe yourself in 3 words. Here we go. In 3 words, I would describe myself as self-motivated, results-oriented, and positive. I am self-motivated, meaning I don't need to be told what to do. I get on with my work and solve problems independently when they arise. I always set goals for myself to achieve, ensuring I am constantly progressing in my work. And finally, I am a positive person who embraces change with the right attitude. I actively seek to help my employer trial new initiatives to ensure it stays ahead of the competition. Those are 3 brilliant words: self-motivated, results-oriented, and positive. Question 12. How do you handle stressful situations? Tip number 1. Now, stress is an emotion that you can control. Explain your understanding of that fact in your answer. Tip number 2. Then, give a clear example of a challenging situation where you remained calm and focused. Here is my brilliant response. How do you handle stressful situations? I understand that stress is an emotion I can control. Therefore, in difficult situations, I remain calm and focused on the task at hand, assess my options, and then create a solution. For example, in my previous role, the company website crashed late on a Friday afternoon. We had an important online sale plan for the weekend and everyone was panicking. However, I remained calm and I quickly researched potential causes online. After troubleshooting, I established that the company's website server was insufficient for website traffic, and after it was upgraded, the website started functioning again. My manager praised my calm approach and problem-solving capabilities during the stressful situation. These are fantastic answers. Question 11. Tell me about a time you had to work with someone difficult. Again, be very careful how you answer this tough but common question. Tip number 1. Now, in your answer, focus on collaboration, working with them, not blame. It's about how you handled the situation to achieve a positive outcome. And tip number 2, in your response, focus on communication, patience, and problem solving. This is another brilliant answer. Tell me about a time you had to work with someone difficult. Here we go. When I started work in my previous job, I was attending a team meeting discussing the action plan for a new project. Each time I put forward valid ideas and suggestions, one of the team members instantly dismissed them. At the end of the meeting, I spoke privately to my colleague to express why he was acting this way. I explained that I genuinely wanted to help the team succeed, and I asked if there was a better way for me to contribute during discussions. He immediately apologized and said he hadn't intended to be dismissive. Moving forward, my ideas were valued, our working relationship improved, and we became good friends both in and out of work. Now, that shows that you are in a challenging situation where someone in the team is dismissing your ideas for whatever reason, but you are being professional. You ask them what you can do to contribute moving forward for the team. They apologize, and then you become really good work colleagues. It's the perfect answer. Question 10. How do you prioritize your work when everything is urgent? Wow. This is a really difficult one to answer. Tip number 1. Now, the most effective way to prioritize work when everything is important is to use what is called the Eisenhower matrix. Tip number 2. Now, in your answer, show a methodical approach and how you assess tasks based on impact and deadlines. Here is another great answer. This is brilliant. Practice this. How do you prioritize your work when everything is urgent? I always prioritize my work using the Eisenhower matrix, which helps me categorize tasks by urgency and importance. So tasks that are both urgent and important are handled immediately. Important but not urgent tasks are scheduled to ensure steady progress on long-term goals. Urgent but less important tasks are delegated when possible, and tasks that are neither urgent nor important are minimized or eliminated. Now, this approach ensures I stay focused on high priority work while managing my time effectively. That is such a great answer. Now we are into the top 10. Question 9. What's your biggest professional achievement? Now pick an achievement that helped the company improve. And tip number 2, if possible, I recommend you use percentages to improve the impact of your achievement. So for example, you could say, I helped increase sales by 17%. When you use percentages in your answer, it helps improve the impact of the response. Here is my brilliant example answer. What's your biggest professional achievement? Here we go. My biggest achievement was in my last job when I helped the company increase sales by 17% through improved customer service. I spoke to my manager to recommend the company implement a customer feedback form on its website. The form encouraged customers to share their thoughts after every purchase. The feedback provided valuable insights that led to improved service standards, new product ideas, and a surge in positive online reviews. My manager supported the initiative, and once it was implemented by the IT team, not only did sales increase, but customer retention and brand loyalty improved significantly. So that is a really good, clever answer because it says that you came up with an idea on how to increase customer loyalty and sales. And you are saying that it's a measurable achievement because the company increased sales by 17% as a result of your idea. Question number 8. Why is there a gap in your employment? Tip number 1. Now, the trick to answering this difficult question correctly is to say your gap was used to either benefit you or benefit other people. For example, you could say your gap was taken to raise your family, study, or support a sick relative. Tip number 2. Now, once you have explained the employment gap, say that you do not plan to take any further career breaks and you will be committed to the workplace for the long term. Now, the answer I am about to give you is based on the most common reason for a gap in employment history. Here we go. Why is there a gap in your employment? My employment gap is because I wanted to go traveling. It was a great experience because it taught me about different cultures and languages and also the power of diversity. I have now finished my travels and don't plan to undertake them anymore, meaning I will be committed to the workplace for the long term. That's a really good example answer of how you are showing that going traveling can really benefit you personally and professionally. Now we are now into the top 7 questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tip number 1. Now, I strongly recommend you align your career goals with the company's direction because this shows commitment. Hiring managers do not usually want to hire someone for the short term. Tip number 2. I recommend you show ambition without suggesting you will outgrow the role too quickly. But how do you do that? Here is the perfect answer. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I would love to still be working for your company either in this position with extra responsibility or hopefully have earned a promotion. Now, during the next 5 years, I plan to complete training courses to develop my skills, gain some experience across different company departments to broaden my business knowledge, and also be someone the company could use to help train new team members when they join. So that shows you are fully committed to the company for the long term and you are also ambitious. You hope to eventually gain a promotion. Question 6. How would you deal with a conflict at work? Tip number 1. Now explain how you would handle a conflict calmly and professionally. Do not say you would inform your manager about the conflict so they could resolve it for you. Definitely do not say that. Tip number 2. In your answer, show your ability to listen, empathize, and also find solutions. Here we go. How would you deal with a conflict at work? This is the perfect answer. I would deal with any conflict in 3 simple steps. First, I would assess my words and actions to ensure I was not causing or contributing to the conflict. Next, I would ask to meet privately with the person who the conflict was with to ascertain their opinion as to what the problem was. I would remain calm and listen while they were speaking. Finally, I would work hard to reach an amicable solution that we both agreed with and that benefited the team. So that is a really good answer. It shows that you are professional and you want to quickly resolve the conflict. Top 5, interview question 5, why should we hire you over all the other candidates? Tip number 1, now focus on the unique value you bring, not what others lack. Give more than one reason why they should hire you over the other candidates. And tip number 2, back up your answer with results, skills, or traits that really matter. Here is my top scoring answer. Why should we hire you over all the other candidates? You should hire me because I am results driven and someone who will always put the needs of my team first. You should hire me because I am a swift learner, can absorb lots of job-specific information, and will carry out tasks outside of my job description when needed to help the company. You should also hire me because I take ownership of difficult challenges and problems instead of passing them on to my manager to deal with. And finally, you should hire me because I am a completer finisher. I am someone who can always be relied upon to get things done on time and to the expected standard. That is a cracking top scoring response. Interview question number 4. Describe a time when you failed. How did you handle it? Tip number 1. Now, don't say you have never failed. We all fail from time to time. Make sure you show resilience and accountability. Tip number 2. Now, end your answer with a positive outcome or what you now do differently to make sure you don't fail again. Here is the perfect example answer. Describe a time when you failed. How did you handle it? When I started work in my first job, I was given a training course to study. Now, at the end of the course, there was an online exam. Because I thought I knew everything about the subject, I didn't study enough and I failed the exam. I was ashamed and embarrassed, but I took responsibility for my failure. I apologized to my manager, studied the online course again, and passed the exam with 100%. I learned a lot from the situation, and since then, I prepare fully for every situation, task, or project. So that shows quickly that you take responsibility when things go wrong. Interview question number 3. What would your last boss say is your biggest weakness? Wow. What would your last boss say is your biggest weakness? Tip number 1. Now, do not say your boss would say you don't have any weaknesses. This is your chance to demonstrate how you accept feedback and constructive criticism. Tip number 2. Now, avoid cliches such as being a perfectionist. Instead, choose a genuine weakness you've actively worked to improve on, because this helps you emphasize self-awareness and growth, and it shows that you are coachable. Here is the perfect example answer. What would your last boss say is your biggest weakness? During a performance review, my last boss mentioned that I occasionally spent too long on the phone with customers, which sometimes led to longer wait times for others. Now, my intention was to build rapport and trust, but I understood the need for a better balance between quality and efficiency. To address this, I enrolled in a customer service call handling course on udemy.com. It helped me streamline my approach, handle calls more efficiently, and still maintain a high standard of service. My call times improved and customer satisfaction remained strong. So that is a really good answer. It shows that you listen to your boss's advice and feedback, and then you take action independently to improve. Now, we are now down to the last 2 questions. These are really difficult. Tell me something about yourself that you haven't included on your CV or resume. Tip number 1. Now, I recommend you share a unique strength, value, or experience that aligns with the role. Now, this could be playing a musical instrument, because that demonstrates your ability to apply yourself and also learn new skills. volunteering, which demonstrates empathy and selflessness, or winning team sports events, which demonstrates collaboration capabilities. And tip number 2, keep it professional but human. This is your chance to stand out. Here we go. Tell me something about yourself that you haven't included on your resume. One thing not on my resume is that I recently volunteered to work at a homeless centre in my community. My friend is a regular volunteer and I asked if I could go along. I wanted to give something back to my community, but also try to understand some of the challenges people in society face. It was a humbling experience and made me realise how fortunate I am to be in my position. So that's a really good example answer. You want to give something back to your community and also understand that lots of people face some really difficult challenges. It shows you to be appreciative and humble regarding your situation. And the hiring manager will be impressed. The toughest interview question, number 1, is: what's the biggest mistake you've made in your career and what did you learn from it? Tip number 1. Now be honest but smart. Choose a real mistake that isn't a deal breaker. And tip number 2, show maturity by focusing on the lesson learned and how you have grown professionally. Here is the perfect answer. What's the biggest mistake you've made in your career and what did you learn from it? Here we go. Early in my career, I took on a project without clarifying expectations. I was eager to impress and assumed I understood the goals, but as the project progressed, it became clear that there were misalignments. While the work I delivered was high quality, it wasn't fully aligned with what the stakeholders needed. I took full responsibility, immediately arranged a meeting to understand the gaps, and worked overtime to get it back on track. Since then, I've made it a priority to always clarify goals, ask the right questions up front, and confirm alignment before diving into any major task or project. That experience taught me that good communication is just as important as technical ability, and I've carried that lesson with me ever since. That is a really good answer, and it will do you no harm at your job interview. It will score highly with every hiring manager. Now, I hope you've enjoyed those 25 questions, tips and answers. To get everything in your inbox within 2 minutes from now, click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, where you can download all of those answers and practice them before your job interview. It's definitely going to help you beat the competition easily. Don't forget to subscribe. It's really important. I am here to help you progress throughout your career, get the highest salary possible, and beat the competition at all your interviews. I can only do those things if you are subscribed. Please hit the like button and also connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the very best for passing your interview. Have a great day.